I hope everybody is well today on this Sunday afternoon, and it feels like an opportune time for me to do an uplifting video, and it's on the subject of gratitude really. Now, sometimes when I hear gratitude I think, here we go. But this isn't about making a gratitude list, or it's not about saying affirmations in the mirror and manifesting my perfect life. It's true, deep, heartfelt gratitude. And I really do think, I'm convinced of it, that the more darkness that you can see and you can feel, the more joy that you can hold in your heart as well. And the more that you become connected to those others who are trying to make some kind of positive difference in this world. And for all my faults, that's what I'm trying to do. But this isn't about me. This is about the people in my life. And dogs. My dog Diamond, who he's a lifesaver. A beautiful, soulful creature. I'll do another video on him. I love dogs, but particularly my dog. But this is about the people who I've got in my life. And by association as well, just while I'm talking about it, for anybody, and there are plenty of them in the world at the moment, who are acting basically as a bulwark to this evil, tyranny, darkness, dread that's out there. So the context is a world that's very unhealthy, that's very sick in mind and spirit, and that it is collapsing. Western society is collapsing. Will something better take its place? I don't know. That's the context. But set against that, there are people who bring true love and joy and hope and light to this world that needs illuminating. Do you know, a world whose darkness is illuminated, even if in a small way, by these people. And I am so grateful to have them in my life. I truly am so full of gratitude for these people that I have in my family and friends. And there's so much negativity out there in this world, and there's so much suffering. There's so much, I say the word all the time, darkness. It's the best word I can use to describe. I am going through a number of struggles myself. When you can kind of understand why the world is as it is, does that make things easier or more difficult? It brings clarity, but I'd say actually it's more of it makes things more difficult. I don't know. There's people out there who are bewildered and confused and don't know what their heads are spinning, and they don't know what's going on because they don't understand it. I think I understand things. I can, in my own way, you know, I have my own interpretation and take on the world, on why the energy in the world is as it is, on why the values of society are so poor, on why the fabric of society is being pulled apart, which is what I do my content on. But I always try and counteract and to have a counterpoint where I can, by acknowledging the good things in this world. And I've talked before about there being a moral and counter revolution that's taking place. A moral and intellectual counter revolution that's taking place to counteract and as a natural organic reaction against the darkness that's enveloped the world in the last. We could probably go back as far as 2001. You could go even further back than that, as I do in my book. And you know, I plot the downfall of the West all the way back to the end of the Second World War. But anyway, it's certainly accelerated since 2020. People have changed. The world's changed massively since then. There's so much selfishness out there. There's so much fear and cowardice out there. It's unreal. But then because of that, because there's so much conformity to these values and these beliefs and these behaviours and these lifestyles, and because there's so much of that selfishness that's out there, then the people who aren't like that, they shine so bright. You know, the ones who have a sense of responsibility, those beautiful souls who believe that no matter how difficult things get, no matter how dark things are, you can still love, you can still help others, you can still care, you can still be compassionate, you can still be selfless, you can still help others. You know, There's plenty of those people around. Thank God, in this world, because I'm helped by some beautiful souls in my life. And, you know, it's time that we pay homage to these people and that we say thanks. When I say we, this is me saying thanks. As I've said before, I've just got ultimate respect for people who are paying the terrible price of taking the responsibility that needs to be taken in this era in which we live, because it ain't easy. It really isn't. And I do think that the older I get and the more I think about life, why is it that the worst stuff happens to the best people? Why do the best people, as far as I see it, why do they have to put up with the worst suffering, you know? Why is that? Is it because they're the most courageous people? Is it because they're the strongest and able to bear the heaviest cross? And then you look and you see others who just seem to breeze through life, living in this material realm, with these consumerist lifestyles, thinking only about themselves. And I know that's a sweeping generalisation, but, you know, I can't do these videos and do some social commentating without, if that's what I am, like social commentator, sounds a bit, you know, try and talk about what's going on in the world without generalising. So that is a generalisation, but I know that it'll chime with you, but I can talk about specific individuals who I know and who are in my life who are, well, without them, my life wouldn't be what it is. And the pain and suffering that I've been dealing with, and the challenges, the mental and physical, emotional and spiritual challenges that they help me with by infusing my life with love and goodness, you know. And that's all I want to say, really, that I'm so grateful for these people. Because where would we be without them? Where would this world be without people taking responsibility, without people who are creating, without people who are altruistic, showing the way, being the source of light and inspiration and hope and strength, courage for others to follow, you know? So on this Sunday, I'm looking out the window and it's cold, it's windy, it's raining, it looks quite bleak out there, and this is a bleak world. But it's our world that we've got at the moment, and there's good and bad in it, you know? There's good and bad. And the good, the beautiful people who act as beacons of light and who are beacons of light, they're so strong. They're able to absorb and tolerate so much themselves, and yet still give so much of themselves to help those around them, to help this world that is desperately in need of what they are, what they have, what they represent, what they bring, you know? So if you're one of those people, I want to say thanks. And if you're someone I know and you're watching this, you'll know if you fit into this category as well. So, right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this. Share it with anybody you think needs to hear this message. Please leave a comment. Tell me what you are grateful for. Don't forget to subscribe. Speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.